All right, virtually all of us have driven less since the pandemic began, and nationwide, miles driven has reached its lowest level in decades. Back in July of 2020, the state announced that insurance companies reimbursed Michigan drivers some $95 million in premiums. But one insurance expert says that's just a fraction of what we are really owed. And tonight, he is talking to 7 investigator Ross Jones and says state officials let insurance companies off the hook.
I know that everybody talks about how tough a year the pandemic was, but not for the auto insurance companies.
In the early months of the pandemic, Doug Heller remembers what he didn't see.
Our roads were empty. And if our roads are empty, we're not causing accidents.
For 25 years, Heller has been an insurance expert and consumer advocate. He watched his vehicle accidents plummeted in Michigan last year, down nearly 25%, while nationwide, miles driven fell to the lowest level in 20 years. And we kept paying our premiums.
Either insurance companies were going to have to refund some of this premium we're paying, or the companies were going to be making windfall profits.
So in response to public pressure, insurers paid back some of our premiums. The average auto policy in Michigan costs over $3,000. In Detroit, it's double that, about $6,300.
I got a whopping $60.
Linda Dillard's refund didn't make a dent in her premiums, even though she's worked from home for 18 months.
Most people didn't drive because most places, most businesses were closed, work from home. So what am I paying for?
So Doug Heller and the Consumer Federation of America looked at just how much insurers made last year in premiums compared to how much they paid out in claims. They found that insurers collected more than $30 billion in excess premiums, and in Michigan alone,
we think that they probably pocketed $1 billion more than they needed during the pandemic.
Spread across Michigan's 5.8 million insured drivers, that's about $195 Heller says each of us is owed for 2020 alone.
We don't see the same stark disparity, but we're aware of the potential.
Anita Fox is director of Michigan's Department of Insurance and Financial Services. She says that while there were nearly 70,000 fewer vehicle accidents last year in Michigan, there were 108 more fatal crashes. Fox ordered reimbursements for drivers twice last year, first in May and then again 2 months later.
We believe that the reductions are actuarially justified. Doesn't mean we're not always willing to look at additional data and take a look at it again, and we always do.
You have an insurance commissioner that I think is too willing to take the insurance industry at their word.
Steve Gursten is an auto accident attorney in Farmington Hills who says other states have more aggressively policed premiums throughout the pandemic. After ordering a round of reimbursements in 2020, California's insurance commissioner did it again this March. State Farm has returned another $400 million to drivers there, but not here.
I think if our insurance commissioner had done what they did in California, we would most certainly be getting another check back from State Farm and Allstate and AAA this year. We would have to.
But here in Michigan, Director Fox hasn't ordered any reimbursements since July of last year.
Would it be accurate to say that you are confident that State Farm did not overcharge Michigan drivers?
I mean, that question is kind of loaded with some assumptions that I don't feel comfortable with. I know that the reductions based upon the driving data that our actuaries and our staff reviewed were appropriate based on the data submitted.
It's not enough to say, well, we stood up once for consumers. Their job is to always be standing up for consumers because we are always required to buy this insurance product.
State Farm did not dispute the study's findings, but said its current rates are below pre-pandemic levels. The Insurance Alliance of Michigan acknowledged that crashes were way down last year, but said the severity of those crashes was up. I'm Ross Jones, 7 Action News.